Welcome back. Can you see the application without? Hello, can you see now? Hello.
Hello.
Okay. We are back to our project. So this is where we go to. Now, the aim of this project is that whatever name we will type here, it should be printed here.
Hello. Yeah.
So when we at the click of this button, we should show the name here. So let's start from top, how it all started. First, we imported the Kinta module. So that service means that we imported everything from the Kinta. Then we initialized the root to TK. Now, then we created our main loop so that our module will run, our GUI will run. That is the container or the root will run. So we created the geometry for it. That is 500 by 300. Then we gave our own title, hello world.app. So we created our title to the label method that is built into Kinta. Then we packed it at pad Y20 and then pad X10. We created our username label so that it will prompt, it will instruct the users to type their name. Then we created my input variable, and then we assigned it to the entry method so that it will prompt the users to type their name. Then we created a button which we'll call the function that we'll create. So the function we created was show name. So we want the function to do certain things. So when at the click or at the click of the button, you should call the function, which the function is going to call certain things. Now, what should the function call? The function should call the text that will be displayed below and assign it to the what will be typed in. So whatever will be typed into the input, it should be displayed below the button. So we should set that text variable to my input dot get my input dot get. So the text that is supposed to be displayed, it should get it from my input. So now let's give the text, let's call the text how it should be displayed. So it should be displayed in a label form in the root. Then we should give it a text. Now here, instead of assigning our own text, that is maybe any text that you want to type to, we want to set the text to the input.get. And then the input.get is also equal to a text variable. So this variable is now what we are calling here. So now I want to change this so that
it will differentiate from the text.
Yes. So that so this is a function. This is a method in Kinta, so it's also the same. Then so the text that you want to use is my text. Now we should call my text to pack dot pack. Okay, so this is what we want to achieve. So let's run it and see if we have achieved our goal. Okay, so whatever name we type here will be displayed. So Samuel, maybe some like this. When we click on print, it should display. So now it has displayed below.
Okay.
Now you see that because the name is still in, anytime we click, it will be inserted below.
Okay.
It should be inserted below. Okay, now even if we have an, what if you have an empty entry box? So let me see. If you have an empty, you see that, let's see. You see that it's left space here.
Okay.
See that it's left space here. So the space there, here is also treated as an entry. So when we click on print, it will be treated as an entry and then nothing will be printed there. So when we type here again, you see that another space. So the space has been treated as an entry.
An entry.
Yes. And now it has also printed. So that is where we bring the if statement.
Okay.
That what if that is empty? Okay. What if
Okay.
it's empty? Nothing should be printed. So here we are going to bring the if condition here and say if my input dot get, so if the input equals get, then we do this. So if the input dot get, that is when this function should operate, this code should come. Okay.
Okay.
What if, that means that if it gets, what if it does not get? So else what should happen? So we should print maybe something. We should print something. And to print that thing, we need to set it to a variable, maybe where is the variable that we are called? My text. Okay, we should set my text, my else my where is it? Oh, else my text equals, let's set it to bring string. Then we call input, maybe we say input cannot be empty. Else text equals, my text equals input cannot be empty. Then we will print my text. Now what is happening? My text is not defined. My text is equals dot. Okay, so okay, I use double equal to. So if the entry equals none, that is empty space, you should print
Okay.
my input cannot be empty
Cannot be empty.
instead of printing the space. No, we should not. We should set my text equals input. So my text equals input dot empty. So here, if it's print, it's going to print on the terminal. So my text equals input not. So that is why we should. Okay. Now let's run it and see. They're saying that if the input dot get, so if the input is something is in the input, that's when that code show nothing is happening. So let's enter something here. So now it has printed here. So if the input, so if there's nothing in the input, here we are saying that if my input dot get, that is if something, we type something here, then my text equals is set to my input dot get, then my text equals the label that we want to display. What if it does not get? So, okay. I've forgotten that we are using a kinter. So let's call the label. So the label equals window, root, right? Then the text it should equal to is it my text? We should set it to input cannot be empty. So let's run it and see. I wanted us to use alert for it. So here, let me type Samuel. And then we have Samuel there. What if it's empty? Nothing is showing. So let's see. You see that now the space did not come.
Yes.
Did not come. So if I remove this one, previously when I print the space should come. But now,
yes.
The space is not more coming.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, we have achieved it. So if only the code will only be printed, the name will only be printed if the input gets something. If it does not get anything, the space will not be printed.
Okay.
So you understand?
Yes.
Okay. If you have any question, ask him because I want to. If you have any question, then we will do one more of this and then we'll go to calculator.
I have a whole lot of questions, but I think what will help me best is to learn the kinter functions very well.
Okay, so ask the question, one of them you want to learn.
My first question is, is the kinter an ID?
You said it what?
Is it an ID that has been integrated to the Studio Code, Visual Studio Code ID?
No, it's part of Python.
Okay, the kinter is part of Python.
Yes, it's a part of Python programming language.
Okay.
So it's a model from Python. It's not, the Visual Studio Code is only helping us to type our code.
Okay.
It is not the technology which is doing the magic. It's only helping us to type our Python code. So all that we are doing is that we are typing a Python code into a Visual Studio Code, and then it will understand and print, give us what we want.
Okay.
So the major part is that it's Python and then kinter that we are using. So kinter is from Python. So that is why we say that it's called, when I give you the documentaries, you know that it's Python kinter. You understand now?
I understand now.
So aside the Visual Studio Code, Python also has its own IDE that you can use to type, but that is not much effective. So if you go to the Python folder, when you install Python, if you go to the Python folder, you have something called idle.
Okay.
Call it idle. Let me show to you how it is. But that is not much effective. That is why I didn't want us to use that one. I'm opening it and then I will show it to you. Can you see the white something?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, this is also Python's IDE that you can use to type. So if I say print, see that is not much hello world. It is not even suggesting things to us. We just do the hard code in a. If I say print, you see that it has printed hello world here.
Okay.
We can do from import, from kinter, but it's very difficult to use because it will not suggest anything for you. Import.
For you, okay. So even if you have made a mistake, you will not know.
You will not know. It will not underline anything for you until you have run it. So
okay.
because everything we are doing there, we can do it here, but just that this one is difficult to do. You need to type everything. Root equals TK. You see the syntax error. Honestly, so I only ran it before I got to know that it's a syntax error. You don't even know. Okay, I know what happened. You see, whole lot of things. I don't even know what I'm doing. So let me see from Kinta. I want to be sure about this. So it also has its own thing. So root equals TK. I need to type everything from scratch. You see that it has come.
Okay.
It has come. For this one, it just even initialize it straight away.
So the first one, is it because of the space that is
Yes. Then
before the R?
yes. That is because of the space. So if I say button equals button text equals hi button dot pack. So you see that you have it here.
Yes.
So it also has its own ID, and there are a lot of them. We have that. I chose Visual Studio Code because it's fast.
Okay.
Because it's fast. That's why we also have other things here. We have Sublime Text. We have Atom. We have Visual Notepad plus plus. Not the usual Notepad that we know. Notepad plus plus.
Okay.
An ID. So Python also
They are all IDs.
yes.
What about Python? What is PyCharm?
PyCharm is also an ID like Visual Studio Code. It's also an ID.
Okay.
You saw PyCharm somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, it's also that it's you can just look at the name PyCharm. It's a Python ID.
Okay.
They built specifically for Python, but it has a lot of things. When you have the development developers um, version, it has a lot of things in it, but the community version is just limited. That is why I chose Visual Studio Code because it's simple, and Visual Studio Code also works like PyCharm. You see that it's been suggesting things for us. Whenever we type something, it will just suggest. When we type, it will just suggest. But PyCharm is difficult to use. Like the way we are dealing with Kinta, just going straight ahead, importing them. With PyCharm, you need to install it as an extension, go to settings, and then change a whole lot of things. Because that one is very, very much built specifically for Python. That is why it is like that. You need to install certain things and in it.
It means Visual Studio Code is universal.
It's universal. Most developers use Visual Studio Code. For this one, you can use it for web development, mobile app development, everything. Like, let me show something to you. If I want to create a new file like this, okay, you see that it's telling me that select a language
Okay.
to get started. When I click on the language, it will show me all the language that I can use. So you have C, C#, C++, CSS, CUDA, a whole lot of languages that any kind of thing that I want to use, Groovy, HTML, JSON, JavaScript, Java, React, Julia, all the Jupyter, everything, all the languages that are integrated, PHP, Perl, Ruby on Rails, and then we have our Python here, we have R. So these are all programming languages, and some are script languages. We have Vue, they are frameworks. We have Vue, we have YAM, we have XML, TypeScript, Swift, Objective. I didn't see Objective C, did I? Objective C. Okay, Objective C is here. Objective C is here. That's for iOS. Those developed for Apple devices. We use We have JavaScript, React, that is for mobile app as well, and then website as well. React Native, Java, JSON. So you see that when you click on select, it just gives you, it's just very, so it will just say identifier. When we click on select the language, then it will give us all the languages that we can type in it. So that is, so let's create another thing here. And here, I'm going to tell you some of the things you can do in Kinta. So when you import Kinta, you have the label for text display. We have button, and I'm typing it as they are used. Button,
Okay.
for command. We have entry for input. We have check button. That is for check boxes.
Okay.
So there, I'll give you the documentation. There are a lot.
Okay.
There are a lot. So I want us to create a simple calculator. So I'm going to, I have a project called calculator, so I don't know. Okay, I'm going to create a new file called simple calculator.py. Simple calculator.py. Now here we are going to use the grid system. Let me. Okay, we are not going to use the grid system right now because. Okay, if we use the grid system, we are not going to go into the logics. We just do the design. We just do the design so that you will understand.
Today we have jumped.
Yeah, what?
We have jumped.
Okay, you want us to, because in the grid system, I want to show you a lot of things from the grid system, how we are going to arrange it in grid.
Okay.
So for now, let's go.
The reason why I'm saying today we have jumped is when I compare the previous lessons to this one, we are going to proper work.
Like we have escalated. Yes, yeah. I want us to all the projects that we do previously. I want us to import them into GUI version.
Okay.
That's why I started by the hello world thing, so that I will print hello world with it. So we did age calculator, right?
Yes.
We did age calculator. So this one, I'm going to let you tell me a lot of things because you did so that I'll know you understand it. So let's start the age calculator. So here, let's do it. How do we start?
With the age calculator.
Yes, we are not starting new projects in Kinta. So how do we start?
So we have to import the Kinta.
Okay, from Kinta.
Kinta, import asterisk.
Okay, we have imported the model. Then what again?
Then we call the container.
Okay, so which one should we use? Should we use container?
Yes, let's use container.
Okay, equals.
Container equals TK.
Okay. So let's call the container to a loop.
Yes.
Dot main loop. All right, so let's run it and see.
Please, okay. Why do we leave the brackets after the container and the container?
Because it's a function.
Okay.
So every function that we write,
we have to leave a bracket after.
Yes, after it. Remember when you use print, you bring the function, you bring the bracket after
Yes.
it. Yes, because it's a function.
Okay. Okay.
I've not tried this before. I've not used something like this before. So let me see if it will work. Like writing something in the TK. So let me see.
Okay.
Hello world. I expect that instead of the TK we have here, I expect that it becomes hello world. But I've not used it before. So let me see. Nothing happened.
Okay.
There must be something that we can do here. TK. Okay, okay, this is the beginning of it. So I don't think we can initialize it to the container. So this is it.
Okay.
This is what we have done. So let's set the geometry container dot geometry to let's set it to now 400. I want it to be a bit long, so 300 by 400. Okay, 450, so that it becomes vertical, longer. Okay, so we have it here. So let's get a title. So container dot title. So what's the title? Age calculator, right?
Yes.
We have our age calculator. Let's choose okay, let's leave it like that. So after that, we set the heading. So let's set our heading to a label. Then in the label, we initialize it to the container. And the text for the label is what? Age calculator. I hope I'm right. Age calculator. Then let's pack it heading dot pack. All right, let's see what we have done. So we have our heading dot age calculator here. So I want us to use the same approach we did. Okay, first, that is how we will display the name, display the age below.
The
Okay.
age below.
Then after that, we will use another approach and call the alert to show the age instead of displaying it below. So here we want to get the name. Okay. We want to get the name of the user. So name, because another we want to get it. So we use what?
Label.
We want to get
The entry.
okay. So we use the entry. Then we set it to container, comma, the font we want to use, because you cannot use a text in it. So you need to use the font. Did I say font? Yes, the font that we want to use. I want to use Helvetica. Then let's say name dot pack. So the name entry dot pack. So let's run it and see. Okay, we have it here, but you have to call the user to use the so let's call this one name entry. Name entry, so that you create a new label that will prompt them to. So let's create that label here and call it name, because label here, then initialize this container. Then the text I'm going to use is that enter your name below. Enter your name below. So say name dot pack. Okay. let's close. Let's close and then rerun. So that's what we have. Enter your name below. So now let's leave some spaces between them. So part Y, that is the vertical side of it. So 20. Then we call this one to part Y 20. So the space in between this one should be less. So maybe you call it part Y to be 10. So let's run it. So now we have some spaces in between. Okay, we have some spaces in between. Now, this for name. So if we did everything successfully, we can at least copy it. Can at least copy it and bring it because we want to create another. So here is year of birth. Year of birth. Year of birth. Then we can call the year of birth pack year of birth here. Then call this one the year entry. Year entry. So enter your year of birth below. So let's rerun it and see. So yes, we have it here. So here is you enter your name, then here you enter your year of birth. So one last thing that we need to add is the button. So we call it button because button initialize the container. Then the text we're going to use is that calculate age. You want to calculate the age. So button dot pack. Then let's do part Y. Give some space. Part Y was 20. Okay, let's run it. We have our calculate age button also here. So now we have done with the designing, right?
Yes.
Left with the logics. Left with the logics. So the age should be displayed below. So now let's go into the top and then create the function. So functions are created at the top, okay? But don't create it outside the container because we want to put it inside the container. So
Inside the container.
So def my age, and let's bring def my age. So def my age because if year of birth if name entry, or is it, yes, name entry dot get and year entry dot get. So if both of them are available, if year entry dot get and name entry got equals get, we should say
We have not added the current year.
Yes, we will get it. We will get the current year.
Okay.
I'm going to introduce. I said I'm going to introduce something to you right now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Instead of the name, let's make it the current year. Okay. Then later I'll introduce the other thing to you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
So enter, instead of enter name below, I'll say enter first number. Because I wanted to, okay, first number. Hey, enter current year, right?
Yes. Enter current year.
Current year. So enter current year. So if name entry dot get and then year of birth, year entry dot get, label, you set a variable, label equals name entry, which the first one, that is the name entry, is going to be the current year, right? So we call it name entry dot get minus year of birth, year entry dot get. Are we clear with this?
Yes.
Label dot pack. And when the label dot pack, okay, and then we should set the label to an entry. Hey, we should set it to a label which is going to, present to us. So label equals label, then container, then the text should equal to label, right?
Yes.
Label dot pack. So let's come to the button and then insert our command. Our command equals my age in bracket. So let's run it and see current year. So we are in 2022. Then year of birth maybe 1995. We have an error says that label entry dot get minus. Okay, it's a string. We this one is going to be a string, so we cannot use the minus. So what we need to do is that we need to set it to an int.
Okay.
We need to set it to an int. We need to set it to an int. This process, you are the one who drew my attention to it, because I used a different model which will automatically set the current year.
Okay.
Now I'm going to explain to you what this approach will do. So now we have 6 years. It says we are 6. It has set 6 years. So 2002 minus 1996 is this 6?
Yes.
It's 6.
Yes. It's not 20. You wrote 2000, not 2022.
Hey. Okay. Oh, all right. Yes. So I wrote 2002.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So it means that it has worked. It is working by this.
Yes.
Okay. So this one is a nice approach. You are the one who drew my attention to it. But we can use a method which will set the current year to default.
Okay.
That we would not need to type the current year by ourselves. So I'm going to save this project because this is a nice project. You drew my attention to it. I always did it how it's supposed to be done. We wrote so many codes. So we are going to save this project and then you will go over it and then see how we did it. And I'm going to copy it and introduce another thing to you, which I said we have to do. So this is our first age calculator and it has worked successfully. So by this, you can use it to do the same thing because I'm going to give you an assignment. I'm going to let you use this same thing for at least maybe currency converter. I did it yesterday, but I want you to use the same approach to make it a currency converter. So for that one, you only type the exchange rate here and then the amount you want to do. And if it is dollar, cedi to dollar, you just multiply, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can do it. It's only this place that you are going to change it to maybe asterisk so that it can do the multiplication for you. So let me copy the entire code. I'm going to create a new project. I'll call it age calculator.py. So I'll just put the entire code here. And first, let me run it and see the same thing. Okay, so the same thing we have here. So the age calculator. Now, what I'm going to introduce here is called date time, another module in Kinta itself. We call it date time. So from date time, you see, it has suggested for me, you see, it is here. From date time, what do we want to do? We want to import. What do we want to import? We want to import date time itself. So from date time, we have imported date time. So here we are going to remove the second entry. That is the first one, where we type the current year.
The current year.
Oh, I forgot. The previous one, we needed to print the name. We needed to assign the name to the label as well. The name that you.
Yes.
So okay, that's why we use the name.
Yeah, that's what we use. That we change it to the current year.
Okay, then it's okay. So I'm going to remove here. Remove. Which one should I remove? Because this is
the current year.
So I'm going to remove the current year from it.
So can we replace it with the name?
So this one, what is it doing? This entry, which one is it for? So this one is for year of birth.
Yes. So the first one is for the current year. The first entry.
The first entry is for current year, which we want to type our name.
Yes.
Okay, so enter your name. Enter your name. Now wait, let me comment them out and then we'll use the current year. When we are done, we'll come back to this. So let's use we will manipulate it so that it tells us. So we are going to remove everything from here. So the heading, okay. So this is what we have. We want it to, let me remove this one so that I get rid of the error. My age is not defined. Okay, let me remove. Okay, so this is what we have. All right. We'll calculate my entire year of birth here. Now, this is where we are going to use the date time. This is where we are going to use the date time. So we will say the diff my age. So here we need to get the current year. So we call it if year entry, right? Year entry dot get. If year entry dot get, then which variable is okay? Which variable? Okay, we want to print it to the bottom, right? Okay, so if year entry dot get, you have to call the date time. So we say date time. Are you following?
Yes.
If year entry dot get, then we call the date time dot now. You see that as suggested for us.
Yes.
Now, that means the current year. That means currently.
Okay.
So we use the now. Then we have dot month, dot day, dot year. So we are going to use the year. So with this, next year, it will still be now. So it will initialize 2023. Next
Okay.
year, it will be now. So it will initialize 2024.
Okay.
Good. So daytime dot now dot year minus year entry dot get. So whatever we get in, we put in year entry is going to be deducted from date time dot year. You understand?
We have to int it.
Yes. We are going to put. Thank you for the reminder. It's supposed to be an integer. Good. Thank you for the reminder. It's going to be an integer. Then you have to declare the label which is going to display it. So the label, the small label which is going to display it is this one. Label dot equals label. Then container. Did we use container? Container.
Yes, we use container.
Then the text. The text equals label. Now we need to create the label here. So label equals date time so I think we should not create another instance. So we can just add it here. Label equals date time dot now. Then we call the label dot pack. So do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's run it and see. Okay, so it says enter year of birth below. So I was born in 2000. Let's see. It is not printed. Okay, let me see. Label if entry dot get should print the label equals date time dot year minus int year entry dot get. Okay, there is no command assigned to the button.
Yes.
Okay, so we should assign the command. The command equals my age in brackets. So now I think we are good to go. Let's go on. 2000. Boom. We are 22. What if I am 20? I was born in 20,000. We have minus here. Nobody is minus this.
Yes.
So this is what we have. We have this age here. So it means that this approach has also worked successfully. So if you use the daytime, you don't need to allow the user to type on their own
Their current year.
Yes. So that's why we said the date dot now dot year. So I hope you understand this one.
Yes.
Okay, so we can call for the name here, the name of the person. So let me remove it. Let me remove it and then see. Okay, the name of the person. So let me say it's enter name so that you can use it. Enter name below. So the label, we should set the label first to the name. Okay, name dot get. You understand?
No.
Hmm?
No, sir.
You don't understand. Now here
Yeah,
at this label, we're only printing the age, right?
okay.
So we want to add.
So want to print the name too.
Yes,
Okay.
we want to print their name too. So um, so the text that is supposed to display equals where is it? Name entry dot get, right? Should we say name entry dot get? Let me see. Name entry dot get. Name entry dot get plus label. Now it is okay. Let me run it and see. Name entry dot label. So the name that we print here. I think I've messed up something here.
Can we write a new variable for the name to under the function? Or it has to be combined with the age?
I'm coming. If year of birth, okay. Let us not confuse ourselves. Let's leave this for now.
Okay.
So we have our age calculator. I was born in 1998. Let me see. So we have 24 here. We have 24. So we are done with our age calculator. I hope you understood it.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes.
And then our where is the other one? The hello. So and this one will also allow us to type our own year of birth. Then the current year.
Yes.
Then this one automatically sets it. Good. So this is what we can use graphic design. We have all these functions in it. We have any we can set our own standard toolbar up here. We can do a lot of things in this because we are creating a graphic user interface. So we can create everything that we want to create in it. When we start the grid system, you will understand that we can put items here. You see this one, they are arranged line by line, but we can arrange them side by side as well using the grid.
Okay.
So today we're able to create how many projects? 2.
2, yes.
Is it 3 or 2?
Okay, it's 3. The hello world, and then the calculator, but in the different methods, calculator.
So this is the Hello World app,
Yes.
and then the two calculators. The calculators, yeah, 2 of them. Okay. So you can use the first calculator we did. That is creating allowing the users to type their own current year. This one. You
Yeah,
can even
current
use it
year.
as simple calculator, simple addition calculator. So instead of
Okay.
this, see that it is 3.
Okay.
You can duplicate this to get an additional calculator. And then you can even create different buttons for it. Maybe if you want to do 4 functions, addition, multiplication, subtraction, and then division, you can create different buttons for them, and then you create a different functions for them. So let's try this one. Imagine we want to add, subtract, and then divide or multiply. We can create different. So here we can say addition button. Okay, we can say addition button. Then we can do subtraction button. You can do division button. You can do. This is not how to develop a proper calculator. Okay, we are only going to use this. Multiplication button. Multiplication. And then we have division here. We have division. Then which one again? How many?
Subtraction.
Okay, so we have subtraction here. We have subtraction here. So subtraction here. And then if it's subtraction, let's make it minus. If it's division, let's use a division sign. If multiplication, let's use the asterisk as a text. Then we will create different functions for them. So they are 4, so the function should be 4.
In the function, we didn't close it with the else. So if you write a function, you don't close with the else, it won't affect it.
No. No, it will not affect it. So here, let's say, make it add. Okay. Let's make this one subtract. Let's make this one divide. Then multiply. So at a click of the function, so this one, if it is the add, then let's call this one to here. We should add.
Okay.
If it's subtract, then it's already there. If we divide, then we put the. Then if it's multiplication, it should be like this. So let's call them the function. Let's call their functions in there. So this is plus, right? So let's add plus. So it's going to call the add function. And this one will call the subtract function. This one will call the divide. Divide. And we call the multiply. Yeah. So this the craziest calculator ever. So you see that you have plus here, you have minus, you have division, and where are they? You have multiplication here. The patterns are large. That is why. Let's make them 5 by 5. 5 5. Oh no, this where are they? The buttons. Yeah, the patterns. Let's make them 5 so that they can come close. So let's run and see. Okay, now they are close.
Okay.
Have them here. So enter the first number. So my first number is 3. Then my second number is 4 to be printed. So if I click on plus to add it to be 7. If I click on minus, you have a negative 1. If I click on divide, you have 0.75. Multiplication, you have 12. So you understand this?
Yes.
Good. So this is our craziest calculator ever. And it works perfectly. You can make this a whole project on its own.
Okay.
When we start using the grid system, we understand where to put this, where to put that. And we no longer have to use the keyboard to type the numbers. We can create the virtual keyboard on the Kinta container itself. Then when we click it, it will just enter it here into the entry box.
Okay.
So yes. So this how far we can go. I hope you have many questions to ask.
Yes, but so I think I'll have to study the functions
Okay.
and practice more.
Okay. So I'm going to send you the files and then you duplicate don't copy, you look at it and then type along.
Yes.
Don't copy them. You look at it and then you type along and then you try to initialize other things to see if it will work for you.
Okay.
So this is how far we can go with the approach. What is this one? Our project. So are we clear on today's project?
Yes, sir. When we started earlier, I was a bit confused, but as we were writing more, I got along. Now I'm okay.
Okay. Okay. So this is our project and where is it? I'm going to send you